penultimate round of the 2023 Finetwork FIM JuniorGP World Championship comes from the heartland of Spain, the Spanish desert, MotorLand Aragon, just outside of the historic town of Alcañiz. The European Talent Cup have two races to look forward to. They are the second class on track today. It is Aragon, the longest track on these small machines, just over 5 kilometers in length. But believe me, everywhere is an overtaking opportunity. 10 left turns, 7 right turns, an enormous back straight. Slipstreaming is key. 13 laps to sort it out. Who's going to be on top? Live pictures then coming from MotorLand Aragon, just outside Alcañiz in Spain. We're here for the penultimate round of action in 2023. The season has flown on by, but the title race is as close as ever in the European Talent Cup. 1 point separates championship leader Max Quiles, of course the 2021 title holder, from Brian Uriarte as their head-to-head rivalry continues. But the AC Racing team have representation too in defending champion Guido Pini, and he's only 9 points off the top. Them three are ETC's very own Titanic trio. Kiko Giles and Tristan Finocchiaro taking you through the action today. Tristan, a fine opening to our day with Moto2. We won't make any spoilers until later on when we see the highlights in the second half of today's programme. ETC, the title not so certain.
ETC, always a championship that throws up something special. There was incredible action last time out, which saw your reigning champion bite back at your 2023 title contenders. He's still very much in the running for the championship this season as well. And here's a little look at what happened last time out in Barcelona then. It was the Monlau boys that were starting from the front. Moriarty got a very good start down into turn 1. Pini and Rico Salmello were keeping themselves very much in the mix as well. There were some big crashes halfway through. Max Quiles was looking strong, but then Uriarte ran on and took a trip through the gravel trap, and then this freight train out the front just carried on all race long. Quite a few riders went down and out halfway through. Casey O'Gorman was fighting his way up through the pack as well on the Super Hugo machine. And as the laps ticked away, they just kept swapping and changing positions. O'Gorman hit the front at one point in the race. Dust was being kicked up. Dodo Boggio made a big move at the inside, but it wasn't meant to be as he took out Quiles and Salmella. Then the battle raged on out the front, but it was Guido Pini that took the victory ahead of Casey O'Gorman. And Rouge Moodley it was who rounded out the podium.
And now we are still in Spain, 2.5 months on of course, but we are in a very different part. We're not in the metropolis of Barcelona, we are in the place that oozes motorcycle racing history, Alcañiz in Aragon. It is warm, 22 degrees air temperature. I don't think so. I think it's a little bit warmer than that because that was the exact same as it was at the start of JuniorGP. And if I'm wrong, the temperature in the commentary box is definitely very warm. Some aircon wouldn't go amiss. But we're ready for Aragon. We're going to have a look at the qualifying report, I believe, very soon for ETC. That's not going to tell you the full story, Tristan. We'll come to it after the ETC qualifying report, but we have got penalties galore and some names that we haven't had to commentate on for a very long time. So we are very much looking forward to this land of unpredictability and opportunity today. Max Quiles, though, familiar face out front.
Yeah, Quiles starting high up on the grid, and he's got a long lap penalty to serve as well. We'll come in a little bit more into what the penalties are going to be a little bit later on. Quite a few riders did pick up penalties yesterday, and here's a look at how it happened. Or not, he's just forming the grid. I thought we had the qualifying review there.
Oh, it might be coming on now, maybe? All right, well, we should be getting that very, very soon. Max Quiles on pole, as you rightly say, Tristan, he has got a long lap penalty to serve. That is the most politest penalty, I think, we've had. This is what happened in qualifying.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I did the time lonely because I wanted to get rhythm for race. And yeah, I was pretty fast. I think I have very good rhythm for race, and we'll see in race how it goes. It was an interesting fight. Rico was really fast as well. but I was convinced that I could do a better lap, and yeah, finally I could do it. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Rico was really fast as well. I will try to win the 2 races, and yeah, we'll see if the title is for me, okay, and if not, in Valencia. So yeah, I'm not very nervous about that, because right now there's still 3 races to go, so there's a lot of points.
Well, there we go. That was Max Keeles' story to pole position. Doesn't quite tell you it fully, though. At the end of pit lane, we do have marshals doing intervals to space the riders out, and he didn't respect the marshals. That's what the official wording said, so we won't say what could have been said. But for Max Keeles, he will have a long lap penalty to serve. He had a long lap penalty to serve back in Valencia, took his first race win of the year. He is the 2021 European Talent Cup champion, 4 wins and 9 podiums in his career. 2023 P25 to victory. This kid's the real deal, Tristan. We knew that already, but he's out to make amends this time round. But this is his main title rival.
Yeah, Uriarte got a point to prove after crashing out back at Barcelona. Was taken out, unfortunately, for Uriarte, but then did manage to pick up P16. No points scored, unfortunately, for Uriarte. Like I say, he's got a point to prove, and a rider who we've constantly seen gets his elbows out, fights his way out the front, and is capable of taking victories. And from the middle of the front row, he will be one to look out for.
27 of Rico Salmela. Salmela has been in good form right the way through this year. He's still chasing that first win. On the front row today, Tristan. Maybe he's got an opportunity, Salmela. The 14-year-old from Finland. 2 podiums so far, so 15 years old, clearly on that graphic. 2 podiums so far, but maybe he's going to be right there for a victory this weekend.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him at all. Number 27, all the way through practice, was looking strong. Same again back at Barcelona. Him and Keeles were looking like the 2 riders to beat. Of course, Uriarte put himself very much in the mix as well.
This is the 26 of Pau Alsina. He's been in top 10 he had the top 10 on his debut in ETC 2 years ago. He's been very consistent, still yet to crack the top 6, but he goes from 4th position today. He's looking fine.
Yeah, good position for the number 26, so keep an eye on him down into turn 1. Of course, as always, it's going to be elbows out in the European Talent Cup, and all of these riders will have to get their elbows out if they want to be fighting for those top 3 spots.
Jesus Rios in the number 54 in 5th position, the 15-year-old from Marbella in Spain, 2nd season ETC. Best result of a 5th. That was at Valencia earlier in the year, his first point-scoring ride of the season. Now he is in good position to profit from what was a solid qualifying effort.
Yeah, and another rider looked strong all the way through practice as well, was keeping an eye on his sectors, his lap times, looked pretty consistent as well. A lot of these riders have done, which is actually very, very surprising considering how young they are and how early they are on in their career. Guido Pini, though, last year's champion, reigning champion, took victory last time out and timed it to perfection. Incredible racecraft. He's going to be looking to carve through the grid.
Yeah, 1 win so far this season. That was last time out at Barcelona. 4 podiums in the last 4, 5 in the last 6. He has still not had a pole position in ETC, but he has had 30 starts in the class, and there's only points on offer come the races. We'll be looking at row 3 very, very soon, and it should be Adriano Donoso who heads it up, the Team Honda Leglise 15-year-old from Badajoz in Spain. 2 top finishes in 2023 so far. Donoso obviously one to watch, the number 12. The grid forms as it continues to, there we go, as it continues to set. This is the Spaniard I was on about, the 15-year-old Adriano Donoso. 21st in both Aragon races last year, though, but 7th on the grid, courtesy of a lot of penalties. We're going to come to that very soon, but finds himself in a very, very good position for the first race of the day.
Yeah, his best ever grid position for Donoso, so yeah, he'll be looking to rack up some points, as many as he can, looking for a best finish as well. His best finish has been 6th place in this class, so he'll be looking to try and go a few better if he can, maybe break into the top 5.
Cuna de Campeones up next. This is the number 11 of David Gonzalez. He had a very successful debut in the class last year at Valencia and Portimao with 2 9th-place finishes and a podium to start the season this year in race 2 at Estoril. Nothing in the last 2 rounds, though. And it is his first time racing at Aragon, so the fact he's on the 3rd row of the grid straight off the books, Tristan, is very impressive indeed.
Yeah, and very much in capable hands as well with that Cuna de Campione squad. You know, an outfit and a system that has brought on a lot of young riders and helped out a lot of young riders and really brought them on and matured them and helped nurture them in their careers. So in capable hands, so expect to see him do big things in this race and in the future.
Somewhere through the pixelation is number 13 of Hakim Danish. He completes the 3rd row, the Malaysian from Kuala Terengganu, the 16-year-old 2022 Asia Talent Cup champion, 2 ETC podiums to his name, but it has been a disappointing ETC season so far. P3 on the podium, his only top 10 of the year. Can't believe I'm saying that about Hakim Danish. He's been a firm fixture right at the front of the ETC grid. Next up, the 14 of Edu Gutierrez, the 15-year-old Spanish, of course, looking good. Debut season in ETC, best qualifying of P12 before, but he's P10 on the grid now.
Yeah, and just 15 years old, he's going to be looking to carve his way through, eyeing up a personal best result. His best result this season has been, like we say, 13th. So plenty of riders in this category and on this grid will be looking to carve their way through. And well, we can look at the grid now, but it'll all be changed by the end of the lap 1.
Absolutely. The one rider to beat is going to be Maximo Quiles. He is in the driving seat in the title race and on the grid. We are ready then, set to go for MotorLand Aragon ETC race 1 of the day, race 9 of their season. Quiles, Urati and Salmela, the front row. Alcina, Rios, Pini, the 2nd row. Don't forget defending champion Pini, right in title contention. Donoso, Gonzalez and Danish, that's where we got to earlier on. That is your 3rd row. Heading up row 4, Edu Gutierrez, Mateo Roman and Vasilis Pantialiakis. The Greek rider, as you might have just suspected the first time we had to say that name. Zani Bajosa and Rocco Sesler, the NTC rider coming through. And this is probably where we should start talking about penalties, because everybody, more or less, outside of the top 10 has penalties. Lots of riders slowing almost all sectors, not respecting the 114% rule in all sectors, and therefore lots of riders having their back of the grid penalty. But with the problem is with the back of the grid penalty, some people obviously not starting at the back of the grid, Tristan. It's going to be a fight through from the back, but we've got some interesting names at the front, which is good.
It's got to be a record. 31 riders on this grid are serving a penalty within this race. Some of them are back of the grid, some of them are back of the grid as well as a long lap, some of them are just serving a long lap. The main sort of issue throughout qualifying was riders found to be riding slowly. Some of them outside of the 114%. Those riders will be starting from the back of the grid. Some of them outside 130% of race pace. They'll be starting from the back of the grid and they'll have to serve a long lap penalty. A few riders who were going to be starting in the top 10, Valentin Peroni, Lorenz Tony Luciano and Marco Morelli, they were due to start 4th, 8th and 10th. They'll all be starting from the back of the grid, but we can't run you through all of them because there's 31 of them.
And we only got the grid, I'll tell you what, we only got the grid this morning. Such was the amount of penalties that we've had to go through here today. Obviously, race direction clamping down on any slow riding in the sectors across the ETC paddock. Just before we get underway, obviously, Aragon, an emotional one for a lot of people within ETC. And we fondly remember Hugo Millan, who sadly passed away here 2 years ago. His team are ever present in the European Talent Cup and the wider JuniorGP paddock. And they continue to race in his honour, and they're doing a great job. Of more of them coming up a little later on, and of course, beyond this round. To the championship, Max Quiles leads behind Uriarte by a single point. Guido Pini is in 3rd position, 9 points back. He isn't in 9th position, of course, after the first round. Them three are the 3 heavyweights of this class. Expect gloves to come off. We aren't expecting a breakaway, Tristan, right now. In this category, it should be your typical ETC Slipstream City.
Yeah, especially with that long back straight. That first sector, there's going to be a lot of moves being made. There's going to be a lot of feathers being ruffled. But then when it comes to that back straight, it all bunches together. And there's no chance of really breaking away. And if anyone does, it'll be an incredible, incredible ride.
As they come to the grid for the first start of the day in this ETC class. All eyes focused at the front of the field as well as at the back. Action everywhere you look. It's often the case in the European Talent Cup. Kiko Giles, Tristan Finocchiaro taking you through all races today. And this is the second race on the billing. Moto 2's race 1 is in the history books. This one is about to get underway. Grid forming. Tristan, you know the question that's coming. Prediction?
Are you honestly asking me that before an ETC race? Well, I'm going to go Kilos, even with his long lap, because last time he had a long lap, he took victory as well.
Yeah, it's true, but I think you get short odds on that. I'm certainly not giving you a sporting one. I'll go with reality, just be different. Oh, dear me. Number 3 has been wheeled off. We've got yellow flags, and this is going to be a delay. This will be a delay. That's the that's the Greek rider. That's Vasilis Panteoliakis, I think. And now we're definitely going to have a delayed start here for sure because they're held on the grid. So Panteoliakis is oh dear me, just drag it back to it. Is it? Yeah, aborted start, hands in the air. Aborted start then, so we're going to have probably another lap here. Or are we? Are we going to have another warm-up lap? No one seems to know what's going on, including us.
Sure, yeah.
Yellow flag still being waved. Officialdom on the grid. And it looks like we are going to have an aborted start. Well, there's Vasilis Panteoliakis, who's now back out, and the team members are moving to the grid, are they? Well,
yes,
no one seems to have a clear idea of what exactly is going on here. Because normally we get the quick restart procedure, or we have a pause. Now they're coming onto the grid. So, yeah, race delayed. It's just now come up in the timing monitor. It took a little while there to get everyone on the grid, Tristan, but it just seemed like there was a little bit of confusion of whether or not they start the race or not. Clearly not right now.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, especially with these low-powered engines. Don't quite have as many problems as the old two-strokes did, but with these low-powered engines, these little GP machines, sit on the grid for a little bit too long, especially in the heat. Those engines start to get very, very hot very quickly. They need to turn them off and obviously preserve those engines as much as they can. And then you saw right from the beginning a lot of the teams bringing the starter motors on because some of the bikes had already cut out or had already been switched off by the riders because they were getting a little bit too hot. And unfortunately, it is a thing that can happen. And yeah, they'll have to sort of reset now. The adrenaline goes back down. Tensions were rising.
They were. Engine temperatures were probably rising as well there. 13 laps was your original distance. I imagine now we're going to be down to a 12 lap because they're going to do probably one sighting lap. And well, no, it'll be one warm-up lap, I think, because they're not gone into pit lane.
Yeah, one warm-up lap, yeah.
If you're just joining us, it was a problem on the grid for Vasilis Panteoliakis, 15-year-old Greek rider. From Athens, he's starting from a career best P12, courtesy to a myriad of penalties. There he is on screen, and number 3 on the art box machine. Yeah, that ticker is slightly obvious with the race start delayed. Panteoliakis, 2 podiums in CIV, pre-Moto 3 in 2020 and 2021, and only ever qualified before 2023 for 1 European Talent Cup race, not at Aragon. Best of P18 on the grid last time out was rewarded with his first ETC points. That was in Barcelona. So Panteoliakis obviously growing in this class, and he's been around now for a little while, often in the last chance race, often not quite making a cut for the top 6. We should actually say the last chance race didn't happen today because of fog earlier in the morning. We did mention at the top of the programme that we'd had a few delays with the JuniorGP paddock this weekend due to fog here in Aragon. It is October after all. Didn't affect Moto 2 at all, but it did affect ETC. There was no last chance race, and therefore that last chance to get yourself on the grid for the main races. There's a lot of riders that will be very, very angry about that, but don't put yourself down there in the first place would be my advice to that. Easier said here than done, of course.
Yeah, no, 100%. So let's see what Panteoliakis obviously some sort of issues. Definitely the bike's off there because he's trying to get it restarted. So
Definitely
either an
stalled
issue, either stalled it, easy done on the start line with all the engines revving and all the tension and everything. But could very well be an issue there as well for the number 3. So light little bikes, just able to pick them up and wheel them back into pit lane. And that Artbox team doing everything they can to get Panteliakis back out on circuit. He is sat at the end of pit lane, so it looks like whatever it was, it probably was just a stall for the number 3. Because, like we say, he is at the end of pit lane. It does look like he will be joining the race. And he will join on the end of this group as the warm-up lap gets underway. When it does, tyre warmers all back on then. Not sure if they need them. It's baking hot out there now.
Yeah, it is warm. I can tell you that just from being in this comms box. About that, whatever it was on the grid, looked like a stall for Panteliakis. Tristan, it's nerves as well for him. He's not had the opportunity to start so close to the front. Being an ex-rider yourself, you're nervous on the grid anyway before lights go out. A few extra ones there maybe contributing to that.
This will mean so much to him, especially, you know, as a Greek rider, we don't see a lot of them at this sort of level. Obviously, this is very, very much sort of early days in a lot of these riders' careers, but this is still an incredibly, incredibly high level of racing. A lot of riders all within a very, very close time as well. So, yeah, would have been feeling a lot of pressure on that grid, and obviously it means a hell of a lot to him. It's only his second time, like you said, Kiko, that he's actually qualified to be on the ETC grid. So yeah, tension just got a little bit too much for him. A lot of engine noise on the start grid as well. Easy to do, and in your very early days of racing as well, these things happen.
And also, I mean, I remember back at the British Grand Prix with Scott Ogden's, the mechanics are clearing. We have got a 12 lap race distance now. Scott Ogden was saying when he put it on the front row at home at Silverstone that when you're around so many motorcycles, that actually you can't necessarily hear your own motorcycle. Does that come into it?
Yeah, you get drowned out, and it can very well be the issue. And we have actually seen it in the past where you can't hear your own engine because there's so much going. You assume that you think your engine's on. And actually, you get a lot of vibration on the grid as well because of all everything that's going on around you. You let the clutch out, and then you realise that your engine's off.
Well, you'll be making sure that the same mistake isn't made twice. Because pit lane is closed, but he was at the end of pit lane before it closed, so Panteliakis should be able to start the race on the grid. It'll just be from the back of the grid, which is such a shame. It's a massive blow for him, the Greek rider, the 15-year-old Greek. And we love an array of nationalities. We really don't see many Greeks. We're starting to see the Far Eastern Asians come through, those nationalities such as the Indonesians and Malaysians, they're coming through. But the Southern Europeans, not so much, not from that part of Southern Europe. So great shame for Panteliakis, but he will be able to join the race. He should be joining the warm-up lap from pit lane, and he will join from the back of the grid, I believe. So Panteliakis, it isn't a full-on conclusion just yet. So if you just joined us, this is the warm-up lap for the ETC race. Here's Panteliakis leaving the pit lane now.
You know what, he'll be so fired up as well after that. He'll be so annoyed with himself for stalling it because it's an easy mistake to make, but it's always an embarrassing mistake. You don't want to stall it. And he'll be so fired up for this. Expect to see him carving through the grid.
I'll tell you what, a motorcycle racer stalling on the grid probably isn't as embarrassing as a JuniorGP commentator crashing a moped on the surface.
Well, you've left your mark at turn 3.
That was rather
big dent in the fence there.
I clouted the fence with some gusto yesterday. If you, some of you who know me will have found that amazingly amusing. It wasn't any. Don't get all excited though. The health and safety office. There was nothing bad about that. It was my own misfortune and bad luck, we can put it down to, but nonetheless the scooter was okay. We're on the warm-up lap, so we're going to get into this. Well, we can't wait really. Quiles and Uriarte, we haven't actually gone back through the grid, but it will be Quiles, Uriarte, Salmello on your front row. Alcina Rios Pini is your second row. Your 3 heavyweights in the title. I remind you, Quiles leads Uriarte by a single point. He's 9 points ahead of defending champion Pini, but he was a race winner for the first time in 2023, last time out. There's the number 1, the black and yellow machine flashing through shot. Outside of that, Adriano Donoso on the Team Honda Laglista, he is in 7th. David Gonzalez on the Cuna de Campeones is in 8th, and Hakim Danish with just one top 10 so far this year, albeit it was a podium in third place, completes that third row. I can tell you we are going to see some new names here. Emmanuel Brinton, if you're on Brickwatch, is representing the United Kingdom. He is on the Team Australia Galicia 00 machine. He's in 24th position right at the back. And also for the Americans joining us, America, of course, massively important in motorcycle racing. Lots of young talent coming through, one of them of which on the grid, 28th position, Christian Daniel on the MRE Talent machine. Their other machine, his teammate Jesus Rios in 5th place. So plenty to watch out for that team. Any change on your prediction, Tristan?
I'm sticking with Keyless.
I'll go Uriarte then, just to keep it interesting. Let us know at home, get in touch across social medias. We're all there, JuniorGP on X, Instagram and Facebook. YouTube, if you're watching the races live, let us know in the comments. But red lights come on for European Talent Cup Race 1. Lights out, ignition, go. Keeler starts across, Uriarte tries to come through. Peony from 6th is on the inside already, but it is Keeles who gets the job done down in towards turn 1. It is a tight turn 1, but somehow they've all got through, albeit they did go off the track a little bit. Up towards turn 3, the Carlos Checa corner. Keeles leads ahead of Uriarte. Salmela has been dropped back to 4th place. Pau Alcina has come through. He's looking for his first top 6. He's looking at his first podium if he stays there. What am I saying? Of course he isn't. It is turn 5 on the opening lap. First real overtaking hotspot, and through has come Salmela to take back the 3rd place from which he started from.
Yeah, Salmela has come out the gates, guns blazing here, and so is Guido Pini. He was looking really, really racy off of the line. Keep an eye out as well for his Jesus Rios. Pini looks up the inside of the corkscrew, and if you can make that move stick, that's an impressive one. But as we've seen time and time again, every single corner in European Talent Cup is a passing opportunity.
It really is, and there's a massive one coming up through here. This is the exit of the Marc Marquez corner, out of turn 10, through the kink on the brow of the hill at turn 11. It isn't a kink, it's straight on these bikes. Down in towards turn 12, then Alcina gets it all crossed up. Pini darts to the inside to try and get there on Salmela, can't do it. Someone's running wide. That looks like David Gonzalez on the 11 of the Cuna de Campeones machine. Pini's looking very much on it here. Bike was all crossed up coming out of turn 13. Now, important to come through. Out of 15 for the run down the straight, and you're going to see how long it is, and you're going to see how important the slipstream is. Dragged along all the way to turn 16. Salmela is the one in 2nd position, the number 27, eating into the 28, and he's going to go for the lead. Is he on the brakes into the final turn? No, not this time. Stays in 2nd.
Slipstream City, as always, down that back straight, but funnily enough, it was actually as you were this time around, flat out through that final corner and onto this front straight. Then Keeles still leading the way. Salmela looking really, really strong though. Looks like he wants to make a move here down into turn 1. Not quite this time around though. Obviously, don't forget, Keeles still got that long lap to serve.
Keeles, as well as a couple of others. Dodo Boggio has got 2 long laps. He's in 15th position at the moment. The number 47 has got work to do. The others are the 6, the 81 and the 25. Gonzalo Perez is one of them. Kaye, the number 6, is the other one. And the number 81 is Luciano, the Belgian rider. So plenty of riders with long lap penalties to serve in this race. The interesting point will be when they do it. Keeles at the moment, as Jesus Rios comes through on the inside. Rios, that's up for 4th place, pushing Uriarte out. Uriarte has not had the opening 2 laps he would have dreamt of, but he'll be calm because Keeles has got that long lap penalty. I tell you what, Keeles, he hasn't taken it this time. I would have thought he'd do that now, get it out of the way, because there is a gap to slot into. Oh dear, that's Luciano, the Belgian. Lorenz Tony Luciano has gone down, and he won't serve that long lap penalty. That will probably rumble on. Turn 3, that's fast, Tristan.
Yeah, you learnt that yesterday. And yeah, the newly named Kiko Giles corner. Yeah, really, really fast corner. If you're going down there, bikes straight into the gravel trap, sliding a long way, and unlikely that you'll be rejoining the race, and he won't be here. But Pini really, really impressed here on these opening couple of laps, looking really, really strong. We said Keeles didn't take it that time around. You think he wants to get it done and out of the way. Same time, if he can stretch the group out a little bit, there's not a massive hope of it, but the further along in the race he goes, the more chance it's stretched out a little bit. So it's a difficult one to try and judge, difficult one to call, but I can see what he's trying to do.
Yeah, we're leading down towards turn 16. You'd think, if I was a rider, which I'm not, that's why I'm sat in an air-conditioned comms booth, air-conditioned now, of course, I would have taken that penalty as soon as possible. Just get it out of the way. you know, you don't want to have. We've already had 1 lap reduced off the race distance. If you get a red flag or anything, it's a further reduced race distance. You don't want to leave yourself short to try and come back through the field. Meanwhile, there's more about that later. Wow, the 54 of Jesus Rios has just come through. Jesus Rios, more like Dios Mio there on the inside, at 4th to 2nd. Someone went wide there in the back of shot. Coming back through to 2nd, Sal Mella getting his elbows out, and he does so quite well. Runs out wide, but he's on the inside for turn 4. Yes, he is. Rios, though, went 4th, went up to 2nd. He's back to 3rd. But Pini, well, he's not having it all his own way. That scrap has just allowed Max Quiles to break clear by about half a second, that is. So it's not all done yet, but Quiles will be looking to try, and maybe this is what he's doing now. He's going to do the long lap penalty this lap. Now he knows he's got a good lap gap.
Well, he won't be aware of it as of yet, but he's put his foot out, so going through that long lap loop, that played into his hands a little bit. Those guys scrapping it out gave him just under half a second advantage. Where is he going to rejoin here now? Really difficult to rejoin and slot yourself back in. Just cuts the nose there of the number 12. The
Nosso.
But has managed to rejoin in a decent position there. We'll see. So he'll be in a roughly 7th or 8th position there for Quiles. 6th into 6th
place.
Into
he's
6th.
ahead of 7th, so he's down into 6th place. So, and it could have been a lot worse, and at least he only got served 1 of the long lap penalties. And Rios again up the inside. That's
he
great.
Fancies it today.
I tell you what, Rios has woken up on the right side of bed. So the number 54 started on the 2nd row of the grid. From Marbella in Spain, he's absolutely fueled for Sunday, and he is up into 2nd position now. Pini is in 3rd place. Pini at the moment is your top title contender. Quiles is down in 6th, and Uriarte, well, he was 4th, now he's up into 2nd. So Uriarte's your top title contender. Carving back under Rios has absolutely got that thing turning so well onto the straight. Doesn't leave much left either for them to have a go back in down the straight. He carries the speed, keeps it tight, so Rios looking very, very good here, the 54.
And Quiles back in the mix already.
5th place ahead of Alcina, so Alcina moves back into 6th. That would still be a career best where he is right now. Long way to go, still 9 laps left on the clock.
Up the inside through turn 3, it's fast through there. Guido Pini left him a little bit of room, and you would do, but it's elbows out. Now
no
3 in 1 through turn 4.
Did he pull it down? He did as well. I tell you what, Max Quiles, there's a reason he's already got a title under his belt. Moves like that, he launched that from way back. He was 5th to 3rd at turn 4 at Aragon. Dearie me, overtake of the year. Check it out later on socials, because that is going to be featuring for sure. Wonderful stuff for Martinez then. Up back into the podium positions. Out front, we should just give a special mention. Rico Salmella looking very, very cool, calm and collected. He's kept his powder dry so far. Looking down the barrel of a career first victory if he stays where he is as well. So very good stuff from the 27 finish rider. Team Australia Galicia, obviously a great team to be a part of. Oh, I thought Quiles was going to have a look at the inside of Rios there. He didn't quite manage it, but Rios also looking good and going with Salmella. This is a lead group of about 7 riders. Donoso is the last one there. I think that there's a little bit of a gap between 5th and 6th. That's Pini to Alcina. Oh, dear.
What a move through there. Brilliant. On the foot back, but is he going to lose time down this back straight? No, it doesn't seem like he's going to. Right then, Quiles up into 2nd place. Uriarte's got in the slipstream of Rios. Pini as well, trying to do 2 in 1. Quiles now trying to have a look at the lead as well. It's all changing here down into the final corner. Pini up to 3rd, Quiles into the lead. A lot of chatter on the front end through there as well for the number 28.
Pulls it down though. Quiles back to the front, a lap and a half after his long lap penalty at turn 9. Quiles is leading. Wow, he's got good pace by the looks of it. Salmella knows he's got to try and get back if he can on the brakes.
There's just Rios up the inside of the lot to them all, and they're all making all sorts of shapes there.
Uriarte just about held that down and somehow held 2nd position, but it's cost them all a massive amount of time. That's at least 0.3 of a second, surely, as they come through sector 1's timing point. We'll tell you when we get there. Quiles has got the bit between his teeth. He's fired up after that long lap penalty. Rios on Pini again. It's all changed. Wow! Rubbed him out onto the dirt there. Rios, no prisoners taken. No quarter asked by Pini either, I don't think, because he had no choice. He had to get out of it. Quiles and Uriarte, the top 2 in the title, then are head-to-head again. 1st and 2nd on the track. Salmella, 3rd. Your race leader a lap ago. Fourth for Rios, who's got Pini fired up behind him. Pini's going to want to have that back if he can. Pini needs to get it back because he needs to get on terms with Quiles. And Uriarte, you can see there, Joel Esteban watching on the JuniorGP star. He's still in title contention. We'll get to that a bit later on. That's the next race on the billing. But they're all part of the Aspar Junior team. And their man, Max Quiles, out front so far. Sal Mello on the brakes, looking good on the brakes and gets it done at turn 12. The chatter there, he almost had a conversation with the front end right there. So through comes Sal Mello on Uriarte. Pini is through into fourth place. Now, Pini knows that he has got to come through and get latched onto the back of the top three. There was that little gap. But I tell you what, Pini, this is going to be a very fast final sector coming up. I think he's got the magnets on Pini looking good.
Triple bubble slipstream down that back straight, and that'll be helping him a hell of a lot, although they are weaving a hell of a lot down that back straight, trying to break the that slipstream effect. Uriarte having a little look at the inside of Salmon. A lot of chatter at the front end, and they're looking really, really bumpy through that final corner. They're keeping it very, very tight on the inside. They can just keep it pinned on these little bikes and just run the shortest line possible. Down into turn one they go then. Uriarte having a look on the brakes.
Again.
Oh, and he makes it stick on Sal Mello. So those two teammates leaving everything out on circuit here. Pini's just putting himself back into contention, but if he's not careful, he's going to have the number 54 of Jesus Rios throwing it up the inside, as we've seen him do time and time again in this race. And Pini out on the green.
He's out, I think, to the old fourth position. Is Rios going to
just about, yeah.
He just held fourth there. Interesting, Uriarte got it stopped at turn one this time. He didn't run.
The amount of time that Pini made up on the brakes
ridiculous.
There, that was incredible.
So strong on the brakes. I'm just about to come on to that. In the third sector last time around, 14 and 15, he just closed in on Sal Mello. I don't know if that's the way the AC racing machine was working a little bit better than maybe the Estrella bikes are geared up for, but Pini on the brakes is absolutely dynamite. And watch him into turn 12. And we're talking about the number one, the reigning champion, third in this year's standings, only 9 adrift of race leader and championship leader Max Quiles. The number one of Pini looking very, very good. He just seems to lose a little bit on acceleration there. He's fast into the corners, not very fast out of them. But look at it on the brakes, he's just got so much confidence. Front end of that bike, closes right back in, and Pini on a mission then to try and get into them podium positions, and if he can ruffle feathers in the form of Brian Uriarte, that'll be very much welcome. Sal Mello back into second ahead of his teammate. That was done at turn 12, I think. And they come onto the back straight one more time. Uriarte has a look over his shoulder, sees a number one. Jaws music then as they come through. I don't know.
That's not happening.
No, I don't know why he bothered. That was completely pointless. Slipstream City, the 51 trying to signal to four abreast, surely. Pini in the slipstream. Goes through up into third as Uriarte takes over at the front. Does Quiles turn it under him? I think he's trying. I think he's going to have to. He's going to push him wide. Yeah, Uriarte was out wide there. Oh, what a shot over the hill. Pini's leading. No, he isn't. Through comes Max Quiles again. Sal Mello's there. Rios, 5 abreast into turn 1. Rios. Oh dear, I thought he was going from 5th to 2nd, but he isn't. Pini's up into 2nd, and somehow Quiles has come out of all that leading.
Call it as you like through that final corner, time and time again. These guys, every single lap, the order is different, and that's what we love about the European Talent Cup. Quiles holding firm out the front though, and time and time again. Oh, so strong on the brakes into there. It's that section of the corner. Once he's on the brakes, it's that point between the initial touch of the brake to the apex. He's so strong.
Look at it
Quiles having a look up the inside again, but can't get anywhere near him.
And look who's in 5th. Ruche Moodley's come through, the South African. Ruche Moodley from I don't even know where on the grid. He's on the 2nd page, I think. Ruche Moodley on the Finetwork Mir Racing team, the 21, and we pick him up now, coming out the corkscrew. He's in 5th. No, he's not. He's 6th. Back through. That will be coming through Sal Mello, because Uriarte's the one in 3rd. But what a race we have got on here in the European Talent Cup as they come through turn 11 over the top of the hill. Pick any number, it's like the lottery. Pini leads the 54 of Rios, 3rd place. Now is, by the looks of it, Uriarte. Sal Mello 4th. Quiles, who was leading across the line, back into 5th. Now he's back in.
Moodley pushes his way through.
He's in the Moodley for this, I tell you what. He's up into 5th, the 21 in South African. He had a massive crash in Valencia. He was out injured. We didn't get the chance, or I didn't get the chance to commentate on him then, and he was looking so good that weekend. He's looking very good here. We'd not seen anything of him all weekend, and he's come through like a scalded cat, like a hot knife through butter. Talking of hot knives through butter, the Australia Galicia team, 1-2. Somehow they've both gone wide, and Rios carves it under him. What a move. 6 laps to go. You think it's the last lap. Peeney's third. It's all chopping and changing. We've got a crash at turn 7. Ryder okay. That's number 4 of Rocco Sesler on a Liquid Moly Husqvarna team machine. Thankfully he's okay. Peeney leads. Salmela second. Uriarte third. This is absolutely unhinged ETC.
In the course of 2 corners, Peeney has gone from leading the race to third to leading the race again, and now to second as he's pushed up the inside there for the Monlau bike, number 27 of Sal Muller. Beautifully done there. Moodley, like you say, he's in the mood for this. He's had his Weetabix this morning and is looking so strong. A little bit too much there.
He's pulled it down. 21. He might be hitting a jackpot if he stays like this. What a ride this is for the number 21. We're just being told that, oh, out the seat. Dear me, Guido Peeney. Out the seat. We've just had a quick notification in our ear that there is a transponder problem for the 28 of Max Quiles. Quiles obviously now just dropping back a bit. I'm not sure whether that's a problem for him in terms of his on-track pace, but we'll definitely be keeping an eye on it in terms of the racing. But Quiles, as we can see, is right there in 5th. Don't worry, he's still in the race. Jesus Rios is under attack from Quiles now. They all keep it orderly. Moodley in the lead though. Rouchet Moodley. Well, this would just be something a bit special if he can hold this now until the checkered flag. Why did I bother saying that 4.5 laps ago? We know that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, like we say, 4.5 laps remaining of this European Talent Cup racing. It can go any way between these guys. Quiles has been bullied back through the order down to P8. But these guys, Moodley's carved his way through to the front, and Peeney now, he's looking racy here this weekend, fresh from victory. Moodley fresh from a podium at Barcelona as well. Sal Muller looking for that first victory, the number 27, the first 15 years old from Finland, and looking very strong at the front of this race. 3, 2, 4. Oh, and Quiles, where's he come from? He was 8th a second ago, and now he's up into a podium position.
Well, he was!
So
he had to sit up on both sides. That was...
Hold your breath.
I think that was Sal Muller, and I think Peeney on the inside. Definitely Peeney on the inside. It looked like Sal Muller maybe. No, it wasn't. It was the 51 of Uriarte who came through then. So Quiles is having to work. Oh, dear me. Passing everywhere. That's the 54 of Rios coming back through. Rouchet Moodley taking a very, very good race here. He is absolutely in mighty form. Oh, friendly fire. The Monlau School team, the Team Australia Galicia outfit. That's Uriarte versus Sal Muller. Little look, of course, from Uriarte saying, what are you doing? Sal Muller doesn't care. He wants his first win in the class. Moodley is just missing a couple of apexes, but it's almost like it doesn't matter, Tristan. He's able to carry such corner speed right where it matters. He doesn't lose anything on corner exits. Remarkable.
Yeah, really, really aggressive, like I say, holding a lot of corner speed. And that does mean he is missing a few apexes. And on that last lap, if you are leaving the door wide open, you will find a European Talent Cup bike right up the inside of you.
As Peeney does now at turn 12. Oh, dear me.
He's pulling away from these guys now.
Rouchet Moodley, where's this come from? Rouchet Moodley, I can tell you now, did not start in the front. He was on row 7 in 20th position. Now, that's not a record. Max Quiles has the record for P25 in Valencia. But that would be one of the very few times that someone has come from outside the top 10 on the the top 10 on the grid. It's only happened 7 times in ETC history that someone from the top 10, outside the top 10 on the grid, has come through to take victory. He's back into second because through into the lead has come Sal Muller. But Moodley, we're talking about the purple number 21, is having the ride of his life, the ride of his season for certain. Fantastic to see.
Yeah, Dodo Boggio's climbed his way through as well, up into 9th. There's a big battle just behind this one, and he's leading that one further back. So massive battle here for the lead, and a big battle for 9th place as well. They've caught on the back of Moodley. The slipstream effect down the back straight has helped a lot with that. Sal Muller's looking menacing on the number 27. keep an eye out for Quiles. He seems to be timing this one to perfection. Still 3 laps to go then, up the inside of Salmela for the number 28. Salmela bites straight back again though. Pini's being bullied a little bit further back in this one. Uriarte's now back into the mix. Jesus Rios has been quiet for a few laps now. Are we going to see something big from him in these final few laps?
2 rounds ago, Moodley had his first fastest lap in a race. Last time out, he got a first podium. The trend continues, Tristan. I won't spoil it, I won't curse it, but he's looking good at the front. Oh, a lot of chatter from the second place machine there. Rico Salmela, seen a lot of chatter around here. It is maybe a little bit bumpy. Aragon is well used, and for these little ETC machines, they do feel everything just a little bit more. They're coming up now towards turn 12. Turn 11, it's not really a turn, it's over the brow of the hill. Quiles is settled in third. Pini's dealing with Rios again. This battle that they have had from lights out, more or less. That's for 5th. 4th for Uriarte at the moment. He needs to get ahead of Quiles. Really, if he gets ahead of Quiles as they stand, he'll be the new championship leader. Rios punches it back through. Oh, and coming through is Quiles as well. So Quiles gets on Salmela, that's for 2nd. All out wide, that's the 26th of Alcina, who's in another 7th position. He's had 4 of them in his career so far. He's still yet to crack the top 6. Early days yet in this race still, even if we've got 2 laps and 2 corners to go. I tell you what, there is nothing. Oh, hang on, I won't speak too soon. I was going to say there's actually nothing wrong with Moodley being out front in the lead. It doesn't seem like he suffers as much as the others.
He's not phased at all.
With the slipstream at all. He seems to be able to hold his own, maybe lose 1 place, but normally we see 2 or 3 bundle on through.
Yeah, he hits the front, like you say. He's not phased. He's happy to get his elbows out. Quite literally getting his elbows out there. Hits the front, really strong on the brakes into there, pulls it to the apex, gets a decent drive on the exit. Quiles was just able to pull it that ever so slightly better on the apex in the mid part of the corner, straight on the gas, and all over his rear wheel as they come through this section. It's the penultimate lap here at Aragon, and it's gloves off. It
is gloves off, and Moodley looking very good so far. Pini just getting rubbed out again. Him and Rios are going to have a big dust-off in the paddock and they continue like this. Uriarte's going to take advantage of all of them. Paralcina, the 26, he's just been given the warning flag. I'm not sure what that means. Uriarte, I tell you what, if I was Uriarte, I'd focus on just getting the elbow stuck in. Why on earth, in the middle of this, there is 8 riders. There are 8 riders in this group. I would not waste your time telling everyone to latch onto the back of you. You're not the leader in this group. Uriarte's got to get his head down, focus on what's in front of him, stop worrying about what's behind him. Hard to do in an ETC race. But Ruche Moodley out front, the South African from Port Elizabeth, 16 years of age, leading very strongly against the 2021 champion. And the Finnish rider, Rico Salmela in 3rd place, he also chasing a first victory. Quiles, plenty of wins for him before the 28, ahead of the 27, but they're both chasing the 21. Pini's back into 4th now, ahead of Uriarte, who seems to be going backwards. Rios is next up. We've got a crasher. That's the number 7 of Fernandez. Bernat Fernandez, I believe, has gone down. Not sure where. Looks like turn 9, Tristan.
Yeah, and if it is turn 9, easy to do. Turn 8 as well.
Oh!
Easy gone down. These guys out the front.
Pini
round the outside in the final corner. That's not going to work. Surely not.
Dear, it didn't. Not surprised either. In fact,
yeah, he's lost more positions.
It worked for everyone else. All out the green. Don't do that. Last lap
been
time
there a couple of times as well.
Last lap time. We go on to the final 5.1 kilometres of the MotorLand Aragon circuit. Who's it going to be on the brakes? Quiles comes through ahead of Rios. Back to 3rd goes Uriarte. No, he doesn't. Back to 4th goes Uriarte. Goes through into 3rd is Salmela. Moody's been bundled out the way. Back to 5th. Watch out for Moody, though. He might have timed that to perfection. It's not a bad place to be on last lap. Pini out.
Again.
Pini. Oh, dear me. There was almost contact there with Uriarte, and there was almost contact again from Salmela. All this scrapping, and Max Quiles could be handed a golden opportunity here. So Quiles, he's pulled the pin right at the right time. Mark of a champion, of course. We've seen him do it time and time again. It's time to perfection. At the moment, he's got it done. Uriarte has come through into 2nd place, the 2 title heavyweights. As Moodley finds his way through into 3rd.
That was tight.
Rios, and I tell you what, if I was Rios, I wouldn't be happy about that.
Yeah, but he's given it just as good as he's been getting in this race. Jesus Rios, he's definitely been getting his elbows out all race long. Pini just falling apart here in these last couple of laps. Been bullied back through the pack a bit. All this scrapping has been letting Quiles lead out the front. Just a few passing opportunities left, but they're going to be 4-5 abreast down into that final corner.
Oh dear me, Salmela, that was so close to taking the back of Moodley. I think we've got a race a second. I don't want to spoil it, but Quiles, is he out the slipstream, Tristan?
I mean, it's doable, but it's a tall order. He's going to need a really good drive through here. He opened it up really, really nicely. He's got the drive, and Moodley's out.
Boucher Moodley, did he get pushed or was he did he get pushed or did he jump, should be the question. Moodley is out of it. Quiles looks like he's got it. It's going to be about for third, I think. Uriarte's not close enough for the win. Salmela's third. Alcina's coming through, looking at down the barrel of a first podium. Pini's cutting it tight. Jesus Rios is out on a wide line. Oh my dear me, no, surely not. Coming through. Alcina got it all wrong. Quiles is coming through to victory. An incredible European Talent Cup race. The stars of the future have put on a sensational battle now. Uriarte second after all of that. Third, Jesus Rios. Fourth for Salmela. Fourth for Pini across the line. Just changed. Salmela fifth. Alcina. At last, that first top six comes. Donoso and David Gonzalez across the line. What a breathless race. Tristan, where do we start with that one?
Take a breath, because that final corner, that final lap could have gone any way, but it's just proof, isn't it, that the cream always rises to the top. Quiles has been so strong this year in European Talent Cup, and he was on pole position, served that long lap penalty, didn't really make a difference to him. In fact, he got back to the lead of the race quite quickly and then dropped back down to 8th, back to the leader of the race again. So like we say, cream always rises to the top. Another victory for Quiles.
Fantastic stuff from Quiles. Take a lie down, take a breath. I'm going to take a lie down to take a day off. I think there, as you can see, touching moment. We said it at the top in the original warm-up lap that obviously Aragon is an emotional time for everyone in ETC because we lost Hugo Milan here 2 years ago in an accident at that actual part of the track where the flag was picked up by Max Quiles. There's the first Martinez of the day. Max Quiles has got the Super Hugo flag picked up at turn 5. A touching moment, points to the sky. That one is for Hugo, of course. Max Quiles was in that race, but what a battle! What a battle to get ETC underway. And yeah, Pau Alcina and Jesus Rios, I tell you what, they weren't shy on the last lap. Alcina robbed maybe at the end of perhaps a 4th or a 5th. Rios comes through for 3rd. Jesus Rios. What about that? The number 54. If you watch Moto2, the 54 was having a good race there as well. That's the first podium for Jesus Rios, I should say, as well. The 54, previous best of 4th. That was at Barcelona a year ago, not even last time out. So a first podium for Rios. As for Max Quiles, it's another victory in a long line of victories, really, for him. The ETC champion of 2021. 3rd overall this year's Red Bull Rookies. That's already come to an end. 2 wins there. It's his 4th win of this season. It's his 8th in total. So Quiles looking very, very good, but he didn't have it all his own way at all. What about that? What a fantastic race in ETC. So we just get our breath back here up in commentary. Stunning stuff. Brian Uriarte, 2nd, so damage limitation for sure. That gap now in the championship, in the bigger picture, is down to 6. It's up to 6 now because there's only a 5-point swing. Uriarte, it's his 15th podium in the class. That's got to be getting up for some of the most riders achieved in the European Talent Cup class. Of course, he's been here since 2021. That's his 6th podium in the year. There's more podiums than any other. But Quiles returns to Parc Ferme. Celebrations, but not perhaps as jubilant as we're used to seeing. A lot more emotional. Joel Esteban there, he's out in action next with the hat on, the cap. He's out next, but that one meant a lot, I think, to Max Quiles. Phenomenal race, an absolute classic in ETC. Straight off the bat here, 2 classic races to come, I'm sure, with JuniorGP and ETC's 2nd race As we look down in Park Fome, that's the Estrella Galicia 0-0 team there. Second place for Brian Uriarte, the Spaniard from Santander. Fantastic result for him. Like I say, more podiums in this season than any other. We've still got 2 races to go. I should say, if Uriarte, for whatever reason, does not finish, he may be at risk of coming out of title contention. Of course, the championship leader is Max Quiles, and if results do go his way, he can be champion later this afternoon. Let's wait and see, though. It's unlikely, but unpredictability can never be ruled out. Jesus Rios with a career first podium there in 3rd. Good stuff from him. It's a Spanish 1-2-3 once more in ETC. This is earlier on in the race with Max Quiles taking the long lap penalty. Did that pretty simply, rejoined in 6th position. And a lap and a half later was back leading. Fantastic stuff from Quiles. And then timed his move for victory to perfection. This was onto the last lap. He was just elbows out everywhere you look. 5 abreast into turn 1. Normal ETC stuff. The checkered flag. Could that be the shot of the year in terms of the championship? Quiles, your race winner, and extends his championship lead. Let's hear from him. He's with Tristan.
Max Quiles, an incredible victory despite a long lap penalty. Talk us through it.
Yeah, it was a crazy race. I had a long lap, so I tried to do it as late as possible to open a bit the group. Then I saw that it was difficult, so in the last lap I stopped and I said, okay, now I'm going to push hard, and I opened some gap, I think, and I won, so I'm very happy.
¿Y en español?
Sí, bueno, la carrera ha sido muy difícil, tenía una long lap, así que intenté hacerlo lo más tarde posible. Y bueno, luego he visto que ha sido complicado escaparse, entonces me he esperado la última vuelta. En la última vuelta he tirado a saco y he podido escaparme. Gracias.
Highlights then from race 1 in the European Talent Cup. Quiles going from pole. Another pole position in his books. He got ahead of Brian Uriarte down in towards that opening turn, but Rico Taumella, Guido Pini, Pau Alsina, they were all in contention. That was Luciano out of the race, Tony Luciano, the Belgian. That was a crash at turn 9. Quiles took his long lap penalty. That was served on lap 3. And a lap and a half later, he was well back in contention, making his move for the lead ahead of finish rider Rico Salmela. The gloves were absolutely off, though. This was a calm before the storm. Pini out wide, held it against Rios. Rios, one of the stars of that race, getting his elbows out. What a shot as they came over the top of the hill. In the closing stages, Quiles was there. Rouchet Moodley, 20th on the grid, up into the lead of the race. Number 21, absolutely in mighty form. We still don't know what quite happened later on, as you'll see. The title battle was fierce. Quiles versus Uriarte, one of the main stories, with Pini never really looking like he was able to get into a race-winning position. Across the line in the closing stages, elbows out for sure for Rouchet Moody, the South African. He was absolutely on a mission to put himself in contention where he was, but Pini was getting duffed up a bit. He was strong on the brakes. He was so much deeper than everyone else, but with bikes under him, he just couldn't make it work all the time. This was an incident for Benyat Fernandez. Oh, dearie me. Goodness me, Fernandez clouting the barrier. We did see him walk away from that, it should be said, but dear. Turn 8, not a lot of runoff there in any best of times. Last lap then, Rouchet Moody retired at the top of the straight at turn 15. We don't know why. Quiles, unequivocal in race 1 for European Talent Cup. He was absolutely flying. Picked up the Super Hugo flag. That victory was for Hugo Millán. Tristan Finocchiaro back with me from pit lane. Another win for Quiles. It's his 8th of the year, of his career, and that championship lead just extended by only 5 points, but it's a crucial 5 points.
Yeah. All points matter here in European Talent Cup, and it could be those 5 points that decide the championship at the end of it with how close it is. Quality rider on the number 28 machine. We've seen him do well over in Red Bull Rookies as well, and he's doing the business here.
Meanwhile, all the podiums, trophies are being handed out. These guys, of course, have got another race to come later on. Jesus Rios, career first podium for him then in 3rd position. Fantastic stuff from him. He'll be looking to replicate it, even perhaps improve it later on. A 15th podium of his career. Very contrasting stats there for Brian Uriarte. Whilst Quiles, well, what can we say? The 2021 ETC champion, looking to double up, the first to do it in this class. And that's also his 15th podium, but crucially, an 8th win in the class. Quiles from Murcia in Spain, the national anthem next.
Pues ahí está ese fuerte aplauso para este podio de la primera carrera del European Talent Cup. Por favor, pilotos, esas gaseosas arriba.
And that is that then, an unremixed version of a national anthem. Nice stuff to the Australian one earlier in Moto 2. Said I wouldn't do sport. It's a bit late for that now, I suppose, isn't it? Max Quiles, the winner. Where's he going? Ah, look. Child's play all this. Come on, lads, sort it out. Uriarte, 2nd. 3rd for Rios, he stayed out of that. They're all pretty good friends. Obviously, these guys coming through the same path, Tristan, and the ultimate goal for them all is MotoGP. They're on the road already.
Yeah, stars of the future, like we say, on that road to MotoGP, and this is where it all begins in the European Talent Cup. Next stop for these guys, JuniorGP, Red Bull Rookies, onto Moto3, Moto2, MotoGP. Very clear-cut path.
Something that we've been working towards for many years in the JuniorGP paddock. It has been giving talent in abundance. The final results, Maximo Quiles, a Spanish 1-2-3 out of Uriarte, and Jesus Rios, a career first podium for him. Pini manages to salvage 4th.
Top 9, all
I'll tell you what,
at the same time.
That's got to be the closest finish ever. Ah dear. Obviously it didn't finish like that, but it was a Spanish 1-2-3. The order was correct, just the timing perhaps not. It's not the first time this year. Maybe this time. There we go. Ah, no, it isn't. Dear me. Right, 9 races done. We'll talk about the championship wider picture. 9 races done out of 11. 2 remaining. One's coming today. The next one is in 3 or 4 weeks' time, more or less, in Valencia. So that could be the decider. It's often the decider in European Talent Cup. Quiles leads the championship by 6 points ahead of Uriarte, but it's all to play for still. Race 2 coming up a little bit later on. Next up, JuniorGP, and we could have a crowning moment there too. Don't go anywhere. The 3rd race of 6 on today's billing is on its way.